An Auckland family that is just months away from moving into a house bought through a shared ownership scheme says it's already drastically changed their lives. The government today announced the first phase of its $400 million home ownership scheme. It says will house up to 4,000 families unable to afford their own homes. Tony Seiuli, his wife and 3 children are due to move into a 4-bedroom new build in Flatbush this October. The Seiulis bought the house for $840,000 with the help of the Housing Foundation, which is one of the organisations benefiting from the new government funding. The plan is over time the family will slowly buy out the foundation's 20% stake. I asked Tony what his new house is like.
It's an amazing home with an amazing view, so we're really excited. Surrounded by huge homes, there's also a reserve out there. And then from the top floor, it looks over the reserve, and it also looks over the city of Flatbush and East Tamaki.
How many bedrooms?
It's a 4-bedroom home.
And how many people are in your family?
So my wife and I and 3 children.
Fantastic. How hard was it to get to this point? Had you been trying to buy a house on your own?
Yes, we were. We were trying to buy a house on our own, and it was difficult to buy a home in Auckland, especially with the market rates at the time and how it works. We had been trying for a long time to get a deposit, but with the banks asking for 20% and homes being in excess of $1 million, it's just a huge number. So it was difficult.
So it was the deposit that was the main thing, Tony, trying to get that together.
It was the deposit, yes, for sure. And the areas as well,
So who do you share your home with? Who helped you get to this point on the ladder?
So it's the Housing Foundation was the foundation that helped us. They are funded by the government.
And so how much of the house will they own and how much will you own? How does it work?
So it all depends on how much you can actually loan from the bank and how much deposit you have. You can have up to 80%, and they can own 20%. The least amount you can loan for 60%, and they own 40%. But obviously, the more that you own, the less you have to pay back.
And what's the split on your house?
My house will be 80-20. So
you own 80%, Tony? You own 80%, yes. And they will have 20% share?
They will have 20% share, yes.
And so what's the plan over time with that share that's owned by someone else?
They give you a certain amount of time, 10, 15 years to pay this back. They set you up with a plan how you pay it back. And at the same time, you're paying a mortgage. And because they own the share, which is 20%, and I own 80%, and the mortgage will be at, say, $500,000, it's less than paying rent.
Okay, so the house, I imagine, is going to go up over time in its value.
Sure.
Do you pay back the original amount of money that they kicked into the house, or is it adjusted as the value of your house goes up?
It's adjusted as the value of the house goes up. So obviously, the sooner we pay it back, the better.
Were you given a budget for what you could spend on a house, or did you go and find the house first yourself and then go to the foundation, or what? How did it work?
So how it worked was, when you have a look at some of these foundations online, they actually tell you what areas they have houses in, and then they're showing their houses as we have a house in Flatbush, or we have a house in the Tamaki generation, and then you have to look at whether that house will be suitable for you. Some of them will be duplexes, some of them will be apartments, some of them 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom. My daughter was already going to Mission Heights Junior High School, which is a high decile school, which is in zone for the house. So the big thing that what we saw was this home had 4 bedrooms. Also, it was in zone for my 2 young sons ready to go to school, and they've started now for Ormston Primary School, which is a school just down the road from the house, walking distance, and that's another high decile school. So that's how it worked for us. That's how we found it. So going through the foundations online and then seeing what advertisements they had there.
So the foundation was already building this house. It just became your house.
Yes.
What difference do you reckon this is going to make to your lives?
Oh, huge difference. I mean, both my wife and I come from, brought up in Housing New Zealand homes, and our parents never owned their own home. So for us to leave a home there for our children's future And for them to be in a high decile school, we hope that one day, they don't have to worry about rent. They can take that and be able to loan to buy their own homes while they're studying in a university or whatnot. So that'll be a huge difference. We're so looking forward to it. We're excited as.